Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe now to get the latest ancient history news and independent research from around the world. In my last video I discussed the bizarre natural wonder known as Krishna's Butterball, a large erratic boulder that balances on a bedrock slope and has sparked the human imagination for centuries. As stated, the boulder is part of the Mamallapuram UNESCO World Heritage Site, and in this video, I'm going to show you the other incredible monuments that led to such an important status being granted. Mamallapuram consists of a number of incredible 7th and 8th century rock-cut monuments, which makes it one of the most famous and important sites in India. It was a port city in the Pallava kingdom, and the town was named after the Pallava king Narasimhavarman I, who was also known as Mahabali and Mamallan, meaning great wrestler or great warrior. Many of the royal monuments are carved out of the living rock, and include rathas, meaning temples in the form of chariots, mandapas or cave sanctuaries, the giant open-air rock relief known as the Descent of the Ganges, and the famous Shore Temple of Shiva. Archaeologically speaking, there are finds at this site going all the way back to the 1st century BC, including Neolithic burial urns, cairn circles and jars. We also find Chinese and Roman coins, the latter belonging to Theodosius I of the 4th century AD. But this region really gained major importance in the 7th century thanks to the exquisite architecture of the Pallava dynasty. It was an important strategic location, a port to launch trade and diplomatic missions to Sri Lanka and Southeastern Asia. An 8th century Tamil text describes it as a sea mountain where the ships rode at anchor bent to the point of breaking, laden with wealth, big-trunked elephants, and gems of 9 varieties in heaps. The temples at this site are nothing short of amazing. They portray the events described in the Mahabharata, one of the 2 major Sanskrit epics of ancient India. They were all built during the reigns of King Narasimhavarman and his successor Rajasimhavarman, also known as Rajasimha, and show a general progression from amazing monumental rock-cut architecture, ending up with more standard structural building, but still just as beautiful. The mandapa and rathas are shaped from hard granite rock faces, whilst the Shore Temple of Shiva was erected half a century later and is built from dressed stone. The actual achievements in stone are breathtaking, but it's the iconography depicted, the detail in the fine carvings, as well as the meaning behind it that really makes Mamallapuram an important site of ancient India. Marco Polo and other European merchants called the region the site of 7 pagodas, and legend says that the famous Shore Temple, one of the oldest stone temples in South India, was actually one of 7. The other 6 could well be lost under the now submerged coastline, and this could well be true, because of the appearance of the outlines of more temples off the coast, as seen during the 2004 tsunami. The tsunami exposed an incredible collapsed temple that was built entirely of granite blocks, as well as ancient rock-cut sculptures of lions, elephants and peacocks, which would have decorated walls and temples in the 7th and 8th centuries. Thankfully, the tsunami didn't badly damage the remaining Shore Temple and its surrounding garden, and the water level returned to normal inside a few minutes. The temple has hard granite foundations, and that is one of the reasons why it could sustain the waves of a tsunami. This temple likely acted as a landmark for navigation for European merchants, and because the Shore Temple looks like a pagoda, the name 7 Pagodas stuck. The original name of this specific site is Jalashayana, meaning lying in water. It was built by Rajasimha and was the culmination of architectural creations at Mamallapuram. Work at the site did continue by the Cholas, who ruled Tamil Nadu after defeating the Pallavas. The older rock-cut monument that is known as the Descent of the Ganges really is a breathtaking piece of work. It measures 98 by 49 feet in size and is a giant open-air rock relief carved on 2 monolithic boulders of granite. Yes, this was done on hard granite, not soft limestone or sandstone, and that's what makes it truly incredible. It depicts the story of the descent of the sacred river Ganges, the waters of which were believed to possess supernatural powers. It reminds me more of a canvas, and is probably the best example in all of India. It is situated in the centre of Mamallapuram, facing the sea, a short distance from the Shore Temple. It was originally carved to celebrate the victory of Narasimhavarman over the Chalukya king Pulakesin II. Many of the figures carved are life-size, and the sculptors even carved into the natural cleft, a natural fissure that's running through the centre, integrating it into the overall mythical narrative of the relief. A water tank was once located on top of the rock. It would release water denoting the Ganges River. Water would cascade over the cleft, giving the impression of the river descending from the head-tied dreads of Shiva. The relief contains more than 100 figures of gods, people, half-humans and animals, and is far too complicated for me to describe in detail in this video, but it relates to a cosmic event of the Ganges descending to the earth, a popular narration and depiction in the iconography of Shiva. I can give you a full detailed account in a future video. I also want to give specific mention to the Varaha Cave Temple, a magnificent rock-cut temple of Mamallapuram. The cave reflects a transitional style of architecture, with columns mounted on seated lions and detailed frescoes that are carved onto the walls that evolved in size and style during the rule of the two Pallava kings responsible for the site's architecture. The temple is a small monolithic rock-cut temple, a mandapa that is carved into a pink granite rock face. Although a fine example of Indian architecture, some scholars have noted a Greco-Roman influence on the style, with comparisons to European architecture as well. The walls of the cave show striking mythological scenes that are carved in relief. The panels labelled Vishnu rescuing the earth, Vishnu taking 3 strides, Gaja Lakshmi and Druga are the most impressive examples inside. Again, this cave will be the subject of a dedicated video in the future, because there is just so much to say, show and explain. This is really just a short look at the enigmatic site of Mamallapuram, and as we can see, it has the World Heritage status for a reason. It really is absolutely incredible, not just for its beauty, but for the incredible skill to intricately carve huge natural blocks and boulders of hard granite rock. If you'd never heard of this site until now, it's certainly something to add to your bucket list, and I'll do more on this site in the future. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.